Hey everyone, welcome to the show. My name is Sam Shaw and I'm the founder of Wall Street Mastermind. This is Wall Street Mastermind's Elevate program, where we take our flagship coaching program and give it away for free to high potential students who are currently in a difficult financial situation. The goal of this show is to first and foremost give these students the coaching and guidance that they wouldn't be able to get otherwise and help them break into investment banking. Of course, we also want to give all of you an in-depth look at how to go about your own investment banking preparation process the right way, so that you can model it after the same proven methodology and strategies that we've used to place over 90% of our students into investment banking across every single bulge bracket and elite boutique bank over the last several years. With hundreds of thousands of applicants competing to break into investment banking globally each year, our team only has the bandwidth to help a very small percentage of you. So my hope is that this show helps all of you, even if you aren't able to directly participate in our program and work with us. So let's get to it. In this session, we get the first piece of good news that we've been waiting for. Ximena finally gets her first offer from RBC Capital Markets. We celebrate her win and also discuss the other 4 interviews she has coming up with various bulge bracket and elite boutique banks, as well as what she can do to improve her final outcome even more from here. But at least the first offer is in the bag, so yay. Hey, Ximena.
Hey, Sam.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well. Congrats on the offer. Uh-oh, are you frozen?
Hey.
Oh, I think you're frozen. I can hear
Hello.
you. Oh, no. Cool. Can
Is
you
it
hear?
good?
Yeah.
Yeah. Am
Um,
I unfrozen?
you are cutting in and out a little bit, but I can hear you now.
Okay. Oh, I said thank you.
It's gotta feel good to finally get the first one.
That was really nice. It was definitely really nice. It went really, really well. I think it was just kind of, again, just kind of getting back into kind of what the interview really is and just kind of being more natural. It didn't feel so stressful as like other interviews had felt. It just kind of felt like this is me and this is what I can do.
Yeah.
And I felt like it just felt like it went really well and I really bonded with the interviewers. So that was cool.
I mean, it seems like such a small thing, but I'm sure in reality, just in terms of how you were coming across, it probably made a big difference. Is my guess. I don't know. I mean, I wasn't there, right? But typically, if you're able to just be like more relaxed and more yourself, you're usually going to show better, right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's been the biggest takeaway probably all these months.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome though. So like, when's RBC's deadline?
So that's April 29th. So luckily they gave me 2 weeks, which was like perfect to have this kind of week to see how that goes.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice of them actually to give you so long. I'm surprised, but okay. So April 29th. So we got 11 days. All right, and then you have a bunch of interviews before that, right?
Yeah, apparently. I don't know because so Pearl is definitely confirmed for tomorrow and then Bank of America is confirmed for Friday, but UBS and Citi. So UBS, I wasn't sure what to do, like I said, because they asked to schedule it Friday afternoon, but that's the time that I would be coming home.
Uh-huh. Right. They want to do it Friday afternoon. Can you delay your, well, so you'll be in New York already, right?
Yeah,
Because
that's online though.
the UBS one is online. But your B of A interview is in person. Oh, but you already booked a flight for that time.
Yeah.
Um, so have you responded to them?
To UBS, no.
I see. I guess you can tell them that well they just reached out today and they just offer that time. I guess if that's the only time they're doing the super day, but it's virtual.
Yeah. They said Friday from 1 to 5.
So you're debating if you should ask Bank of America to delay your flight, basically?
Yeah.
My dog was going nuts. What were you saying though?
Um, the not getting back to UBS. Well, UBS doesn't know, of course, about Bank of America. So it was like asking Bank of America to delay my flight, but it's already booked. And so I'm afraid that I don't know, could that ding me before having an interview to ask for that? You know?
Hmm. I mean, you would take Bank of America over UBS,
Yeah,
right? I don't feel like it's a huge deal for Bank of America to know that you have an interview with UBS.
that afternoon.
Yeah, and it's after you have the Bank of America interview, right? Um, so yeah, I think if you tell them like, um, I had another interview that was just scheduled for that afternoon, so I was wondering if I can, reschedule if it would be possible to reschedule the flight. So a lot of
Mhm.
times, like with corporate travel, um, they have like relationships with like their travel agency or whatever, where like they probably have to like reschedule flights all the time.
Mhm.
So,
Okay.
so they might not be subject to like the same restrictions that we normally would be if we have to change flights and we have to like pay a penalty or whatever, right?
Mhm.
So I would just ask, and then like worst case they say no, and if they say no, then then I guess at that point the only options you have are. I mean, you also don't want UBS to feel like you're like being slow in responding. So I guess in the meantime, I would also respond to UBS and just say, um, "Hey, um, I was supposed to be I have a flight booked for that time." And then you can either ask like if there's a way to do the interview at a different time, or
Mhm.
if not, because they might have like multiple batches of super days, right? Or
Yeah.
if it's not possible, say then um, you're gonna have to see if you can move the flight.
Yeah.
Um, and then so I would just like see what both sides say, I guess. Um, but either way, like because worst case scenario is like they both say no. Make America's like no, can't change your flight, and then UBS says no, you have to do the interview at that time. In which case, I guess you might just book your own flight if you really want to interview with UBS. Or maybe by then you already have an offer and you know you don't need to interview with UBS
Can I get dinged for not making a flight?
for not making a flight.
Yeah,
No,
since they
no, I mean I think it's highly unlikely that both of them say no. But like if that does happen, like no, I don't think you get dinged for not being able to make it. That's like saying you get dinged for having another interview. Like that's
right? That doesn't no.
no, I don't think so. No.
Okay. Okay.
But I would respond to him today. You don't want I guess it's already 5:45 Eastern, but I'll just respond to him today and ask those two things. And see what they say. But if you have Perella tomorrow and you have Bank of America Friday, you're probably gonna take either of those over UBS anyway, right?
Yeah.
So like who knows? If
Mm-hmm.
Perella goes well tomorrow, you might have another offer tomorrow, and then all this is moot.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I don't know what happened. City is just up in the air just because HR is like apparently they had some issues, but I've
As in, like they're like really behind or something, right? They're like
like
over.
extremely behind, but it's been confirmed like from within city. So that's what happened. But the weird thing is that it was last week and HR told me like you can call me any time of the day. I called that day, I called the day after. So it's definitely like they're just very like over, I don't know, flooded with work. I think there were some issues there. But they had said we're gonna schedule it April 20th, so that's on Wednesday. So that's how that was gonna happen, but I didn't get anything. And I know that right now, somebody within city is asking them what happened because I kind of let them know what happened. They asked. So I don't know how that's gonna go.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm sure the bankers aren't happy about this because it just means that they're losing candidates to all the other firms.
Yeah, but that's the weird things. It's been like we've gone completely silent. Like multiple of us have reached out and we just get no response.
From the early ID program, you mean?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. I mean, as long as you have that interview, then I suppose we're not in a rush because you have these other interviews anyway, right?
Yeah.
So, and also that interview is like a FIG interview, right? So I don't know like how that's been going in terms of preparation, but you could probably always use more time to learn the FIG specific stuff anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm taking this one class that's called Money and Banking, and we do a lot of like balance sheet stuff, and it's about banks. So that's definitely helped to kind of understand that whole system. So that part is not that bad. And I've been reading up a lot on it, so it's okay. I would say, yeah, I just hope not. I think somebody else in Wall Street Mastermind had a similar issue where they told them like super day tomorrow or something like that. Um, so I mean, I don't know if that will happen tomorrow, but
Okay. But those are the four that are kind of like still in play right now, basically.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
All right. Well, I mean, now that you have an offer, I think hopefully it'll make it. Obviously, I know you still want these other offers, but it'll just make it even easier for you to just be a little bit looser and just go in and kind of be your normal self um and then you should hopefully be able to, perform better because of that, which is nice.
yeah. I think it's definitely just kind of nice to see it pay out and see it go as you think it should go. So
Yeah.
definitely, yeah, definitely. It doesn't feel like I just keep trying and trying.
Yeah, you've had a lot of had a lot of ones where you felt like you should have gotten the offer, right? So yeah, I know
Yeah.
what you mean. Okay. So I guess I mean for all these interviews coming up, like what else do you need help with?
Okay. So just in general, I was just wondering, just in general, in-person interviews, I mean, it's pretty much the same thing, right?
It's the same.
Yeah.
Only difference I can think of is like when you go in, like the first thing you're gonna do is shake their hand, which you don't do virtually.
Hmm.
Just make sure you have a good firm handshake, right? Like don't give one of those weak ones where you're
Yeah. No.
just go all the way in and give them a firm handshake. That's basic first impression stuff. Other than that, I would bring a portfolio if you have one, right?
Okay.
Like a leather portfolio.
Mhm.
It doesn't have to be leather, but whatever. Bring a portfolio with paper and a pen, hard copies of your resume. Um, they should probably already have it, but just in case, like sometimes they don't, then you can give them a copy. So that's like stuff that you want to be prepared with. Those are like kind of the only differences, really.
Okay.
Yeah. And obviously you have to make sure you dress well, make sure you're just like, well put together. Like that stuff's like even more important in person, right? But
Mhm.
I don't think you have issues. Sometimes I have clients that are like guys who don't care about their appearance, and I have to like, I told this guy to like go get a haircut and get new glasses and like,
Okay.
you gotta look the part, right?
Mm.
But yeah, I mean, other than that, I think it's the same. Everything is the same. So
Um,
I wouldn't do anything differently. Um, I guess body language maybe is, I mean, still matters even when you're doing virtually, but when you're in person, probably even just like, make sure you're sitting up straight and
mm.
right, like you could probably like you're right there in front of them. And um, so I think it'll be even more important for you to stay loose and, be more, like everything just comes across more, I guess, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Body language, tonality, your eye contact, firm handshake, like all of these things are now in person, right?
Yeah. I
But in
feel
terms
like
of
it
how you
makes
answer
it,
the question, in terms of how you answer the questions, it's the same.
yeah. I feel like it makes it better too, just because it's more like personable. Like it's more easy to like, I guess, like have personality. But
Yeah,
I
for
don't know.
sure. Yeah, for sure.
I was wondering, um, oh, I don't know, like, so they have an analyst lunch at 12:30, which is like we have that for like 2 hours. Is that
Mhm.
just, do you know, is that mostly just like interaction with between like analysts, or it's like you just talk with people with the firm? Like I'm guessing you're kind of interviewed right away, just kind of they see how you're talking.
Yeah, analyst lunch. If you're just getting lunch with the analysts, that's kind of like I would just treat it like a social interview, you know?
Hmm.
It's like you're still being evaluated. They're still like, um, sizing you up and seeing like, hey, is this someone that we want in the bullpen, right? Especially these are like just junior folks. So um, I think for the most part, they just want to know that like you're a normal, cool person that they would want to hang out with, and but still like have to keep it professional and stuff, right?
Right.
Um, so yeah, I think for that, like that's even more just being yourself. I
Hmm.
mean, like you need to be able to like hold a conversation, obviously, but um,
Right.
don't be like the super quiet person that is off to the side,
Yeah.
never speaking. But then
Yeah.
don't be like the annoying person that tries to like talk over everyone else, right?
Right.
Um, but other than that, like yeah, I think that's pretty much all there is to that. That's yeah, that is it's like passing the airport test, kind of.
Mhm. Okay. Um, and then I had a question for the PW, like why Perella? That's like very important. Um, so I was just kind of like going through their website. Of course, I have like some people I can cite that I've talked to. There was just one part where like it talks about like the foundation of Perella, and it talks specifically about like the partners wanted to create a firm that provided competence, trust, and commitment. That's like quoted in the website. Is that cringe? Like if I bring that up, is that something that like this is like one of the main like foundations of what Perella is, or is that sound just kind of um like does it sound like I like research into it, or does it just don't mention that?
Um, so how would you do it? Like, can you show me?
I was thinking of saying, so one of the main reasons is Perella being an independent strategic advisor that specializes in client advisory, I think would be a really great experience from my internships as a PE analyst. I really enjoyed doing market research, but overall, I've just enjoyed this past year reading about the strategy behind deals and how they work. And I really like that Perella's main foundation was basically to be able to provide competence, trust, and the last one, competence, trust, and commitment to clients. So that makes me feel like I will be focused in that side of the strategic advisory part, and that it's not as transactional as, for example, working at a bulge bracket bank that does capital raising as well. And this would just be a lot more M&A focused, something like that.
Hmm. So it's competence, trust, and what?
And commitment.
Yeah. I'm trying to look at their website, but I don't know. I think it's a little bit cheesy.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what I think, at least.
Okay.
I think I'm a bit more jaded about this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
but I think the point that you're really trying to drive home is what is more that you want to focus on M&A advisory, right? That was,
Right.
that was kind of what I heard from what you just said.
Yeah. And it's kind of like what they say, or like what boutiques, it's like we pride on like giving client like advisory and like just focusing on like the quality of the clientele, because like they can stay with clients for a long time. So they have to focus more about the quality of like the work that they do. And it's not as transactional. That's what I was trying to get across. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really. So I think like a lot of EBs, they'll say like, because we only do advisory, like we're winning deals just purely based on like the quality of our advice, as opposed to
Mhm.
like some bigger banks, they can offer like, staple financing for the deals, where they give you like cheap debt to help you with the acquisition, but you also have to hire them as like an M&A advisor, so it's just like a package deal, right? And then so like I have heard people use that as like part of their why this bank reason, which is just like,
Mhm.
you guys, it's almost like saying you guys should actually like winning these deals based on like merit, right? Based on like
Mhm.
the quality of your advice, which I think is okay. But I don't, I wouldn't necessarily characterize that as like, uh, M&A advisory is less transactional and is more long-term relationship. And then it's almost like, um, doing capital raising is not, because it's not true.
Mhm.
Like doing capital raising is also like a long-term relationship business where like if you're the company that took this, if you're the bank that took this company public, you're also going to be more likely to be the one that um, helps them do their follow-on equity offerings, or maybe even debt offerings, and so on and so forth, right? Or like,
Mhm.
hey, like it's all tied together. So I don't know that I would necessarily describe it that way in terms of like transactional versus not.
Okay.
But I think your point is just that, um, you want to focus on M&A, and is their program generalist, or do you
Yeah.
go into a specific group? Okay.
I believe going in, it's generalist.
So you could, I think like you can probably just focus on the fact that, having done like the two other internships that you've done, um, you just realize that like the M&A side of the business is really the side of the business that you want to be on, because
Mhm.
you just think that it's a lot more interesting, and you think that the deals are really are a lot more strategic, because you're not just like raising money for a company and they can use it for whatever they want. It's, you have to make sure that the two companies that are combining are really actually like a good fit, right? And then also like,
Mhm.
how does it affect all the other players in the market, right? In the competitive
Right.
landscape. And so there's a lot more to think about. Um, and you also, and also, the other reason that you can get for like M&A is like, also, that like, working on the M&A side gives you a more technical skill set, because there's a lot more modeling involved. And also like it allows you to be industry agnostic, especially with a generalist program, where you're going to get to work across different industries and verticals, and just get broader exposure to all types of different business models and companies,
Mhm.
which at this stage of your career, just starting out, you think that that's like actually ideal, because there's still so much you have to learn. You're not trying to like
Mhm.
specialize in any one industry, right? So like, those are all things that you can say about why you want to do this like generalist M&A model without, quoting their,
Okay. Right.
um, right. And I don't know what your other reasons are, but, or, like what I just said, you might even be able to break it up into two reasons if you want to, but
Yeah.
maybe,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I think like, by the way, this reason that I just gave though, it could technically apply to any elite boutique, right?
Yep.
So like, it can't be the only reason. It can
Yeah.
be like the first thing you mentioned, but then like your second and third reasons, you're gonna have to kind of like then like eliminate like why PWP over, all these other elite boutiques. Is that
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I think they're really big on like their mentorship program. And of course, I think they're one of the smallest boutiques. So it's like like every bank says it's about the people. So that's always kind of my last question. And then that's when I talk about like who I talk to. My thing was for the analyst that I talked to, she had actually also interviewed at Lazard and Evercore when she interviewed, and she had said that even in those experiences, she really liked the people at Perella the most. Is that something that's okay to mention, like those other boutiques in what she did, or is that not?
Um, I
Or
I mean,
just say other boutiques?
uh, yeah, I try not to like get too specific with like the comparison thing.
Yeah,
Because also it's like I always shy away from just bashing anything in general,
right.
and just focus more on why Perella is great,
Hmm.
right? Um, if you want to go in that direction, then maybe yeah, I certainly wouldn't name like specific names, but maybe you say, I spoke to so and so analyst, and when she was recruiting, I don't know if she got the offers from the other firms or what, but you can just, she also had a lot of different options, and um, including, some of the other elite boutiques that are out there. And ultimately, what she told me was that, she chose Perella because Perella was just had the best people and the best culture. And even though I haven't worked there yet, um, that's been consistent with my experience so far. Um,
Mm,
just as I've met the bankers at Perella, and I've also met a lot of bankers at other banks as well, and they're all great. But I think just the people at Perella stand out for me a bit more than all the other banks
mm,
because of
yeah.
X reason.
Okay.
So it's not, I'm still
Yeah.
comparing, but I'm not like being super negative about. I'm saying they're still great too, but you guys are the best because blah 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 blah, right?
Yeah. 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 I remember the Deutsche Bank interview. I was asked to like name them. He was like, you can name them if you want. I think it was because I told you I had mentioned JP Morgan in the interview before. So I think um
Yeah.
that was just not great. But yeah, never mentioned. That's I remember that.
Yeah, I mean with Perella, I think out of the banks that you have left, they're your top choice, right? So like if they do ask you, about the other banks and whatnot, actually they're the only elite boutique, right?
Yeah.
So it'll be pretty easy for you to explain why they're your top choice.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
For
you,
sure.
so you just have to get that across. It's just like, yeah, I am in processes with all these other banks. So obviously you are like a candidate that a lot of firms are interested in.
Hmm.
But the reason why you guys are my top choice over these other firms is because of like XYZ reason. And
Hmm.
even the M&A thing that we just talked about, like since all your other firms are not elite boutiques, then that actually makes that reason just like that much stronger, right?
Right. I wouldn't get like, why not? Why haven't you applied to other boutiques or anything like that?
Um, I guess you could, but then you just say, "Oh, I have applied."
Okay.
Um, some of them you're still waiting to hear back from, right? And then what are the ones that you already know about? Lazard, is that it?
Lazard and Evercore and Jeffries are basically Green Hill I also applied to.
Yeah, well, Jeffries, I wouldn't put them in that category, but
No. Yeah.
um, I don't know. They can ask that if they want, but it's just like, yeah, I did apply. Still waiting to hear back from some of them.
Hmm.
Uh, and the rest, there were a couple that didn't work out.
Okay.
So it's not a big deal. Like nobody gets every single offer, or very
Yeah.
few people get every single offer.
Yeah. Okay. That was that. And then, oh, this is what came up the other day. Basically after my interview, when I got the call and I got the offer, is like 2 hours afterwards. But I didn't really know how to go with that just because, well, it was the MD that had like interviewed me last, and he was kind of like, hey, we really liked you. We just talked about this, and kind of started going through like the pay and everything. And I just didn't know how to handle that. And of course, he told me like, you should say, I want to speak with other analysts. Um, but I don't know. I didn't know how to handle that in general. Just kind of you say, okay, thank you for your time. Like I will get back to you in that day. I said, I look forward to getting back to you. Thank you for everything. Um, I don't know.
You're saying like, what do you do if you're not ready to accept the offer on the spot? And
Yeah, because I'm guessing that's what, well, there was like an awkward silence because I said, thank you so much. Thank you for the call. And then there was like a silence and he said, okay, is there anything that would make you want to reconsider or like accept the process? What can I do to like help you accept the process, the offer? So I just didn't. And then that's when I said like it went into like the pay and everything. And then I don't know, it was just weird.
yeah, I mean, at a minimum, you can always say, like, cool, will I be getting this in writing? Right? It's like
Mm,
they're gonna send you the offer letter, right? Because that's just like the verbal offer, right? And then I think like some firms they'll send you the offer letter so that because you're gonna have to review it before you agree to anything, right?
yeah.
They
No, he
have,
said that.
yeah, and there have been firms that also like won't send you offer letters unless you tell them you're gonna accept,
Yeah.
right? But
Yeah.
the first thing you can do is like, okay, this is awesome. Like I'm obviously like, thank you so much. So very excited to have gotten this offer. And then just so I can like review everything with my family and talk it over with them. Like, will I be getting this in writing so that we can have something to look at? So that's the
Yeah.
first thing. So then at a minimum, like, yeah, sure, we'll send you an offer letter, whatever. And then that at least just gets you off the phone, right? Even if they say, and then after you get the offer letter and you review or whatever, or even if they say, no, we don't give letters unless we know you're gonna take it, then then you can fall back on like the wanting to talk to more people thing, right? It's like, okay, got it.
Okay.
Well, in that case, in that case, maybe you can just tell me like kind of the important things for me to know, right? Like for example, like what are the terms, right? Like, well, what's the pay and whatever else that they think is pertinent, so that
Mhm.
I can at least take this back and again go talk to my family about it, right? Because it's a major career decision. Uh,
Right.
Also,
Okay.
what would be helpful is like if you think if it's possible for me to like just to speak to a few analysts um, that maybe have gone through the summer internship program with you guys and are now working there, just to kind of like get their perspective and hear about their experience. That would also really help me make a more informed decision, right?
Hmm.
Then you're gonna
Okay.
have to find these people, you're gonna have to schedule it and like get it on the calendar, whatever, and then that should like give you enough time to go do whatever else you need to do, right?
Hmm. Okay.
But no matter what, you always start by thanking them and expressing your excitement, and then at the end of that
Yeah.
conversation, you just do the same thing again, just like thank them, reiterate your excitement, like whatever it's like. You just don't want them to walk away feeling like, oh, she's like doesn't seem that excited about this offer or whatever, you know?
Yeah. 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 Okay. That was kind of my approach. Yeah. I wasn't sure because exactly he like called. So of course I didn't want to tell him about like the other banks. And so just in case, since I didn't get an official letter, I was thinking, I don't know if that's something that they can do, but I was worried the next day that I wasn't going to get a letter in case he had taken it the wrong way.
No, no, it
Oh,
shouldn't. I mean, it's very reasonable to ask for an offer letter. Um, did you get one then? Did he give
yeah,
you
I
one?
did. I got it the following day.
Okay. All right. That's good. Um,
Okay. Um, I had a quick technical question. I like there's just complex. It's just why EV to EBITDA is capital neutral,
capital neutral.
capital structure neutral.
Um, Yeah, all that's saying is that if you think about this goes back to that question about like why is it EV over EBITDA and not market cap over EBITDA,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Because enterprise value, because EBITDA is
Hmm.
before interest, taxes, and depreciation and amortization.
Hmm.
Before interest meaning your debt holders haven't been paid yet,
Hmm.
right?
Yep.
And so the enterprise value is both the debt holders and the equity holders have a claim on the enterprise
Okay.
value of a business, right? Versus if it's equity value or if you're looking at PE, it's market cap over net income. That's net income is after interest expense, right? And so only the equity holders have a claim the on the net income, right?
Right.
So how much like how your capital structure or how much debt you have in your capital structure will affect the interest expense that's paid, which will then affect net income because that's downstream to
Mhm.
where interest expense is, right?
Right.
Versus EBITDA is above interest expense. So like if I took on more debt or less debt, it doesn't affect my EBITDA at all, right? Because interest is
Right.
below the line.
But doesn't increase your enterprise value.
No, because in theory, if you take on more debt, your debt goes up, but your cash goes up by the same amount,
Oh, right.
right? So
Right.
your net debt doesn't change.
Right. Okay. That I think, yeah, that's what it was. That's what I had read. Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Okay. Um, okay. That was that. And then oh, I don't know. This is kind of just side in general, like for these like roles. So like for the I finished the internship with the PE analyst thing and they had offered like to write me recommendation letters. I didn't know if to like to save that for something in the future. Or for example, there's like a lot of people that ask them to write you recommendations on LinkedIn. Is that something you would advise for or like just wait for a good situation in the future?
The internship they just finished,
Yeah.
they offered to write one for you, or you're saying you want to ask them?
They said if you want a recommendation, let us know. We're happy to write one whenever you need it. So I didn't know if to like display that on LinkedIn or if to wait in case I needed it in the future and to ask them like to send that in.
Hmm,
I'm guessing they won't write two, right? If I ask for LinkedIn and then in the future ask to get another one sent in.
I don't think that's necessarily true. I would probably just ask for the LinkedIn one, just to have it on your LinkedIn, and you know, you always use your LinkedIn profile, and then like
Yeah.
you're really only going to need an official letter if some firm actually asks for one. But I think it's so rare for companies to like actually ask for a recommendation letter, So I don't know if you'll ever need one, to be honest. But if you ever do need one, I'm sure it's fine if you ask them again. Like I don't think there's a quota on that.
Okay.
If they're too busy, they'll probably just say, yeah, just write it yourself and then we'll sign it or something. That's what people do sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll just ask for it right now. Just ask them to do it on your LinkedIn.
Okay. 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 And then in terms of, I know like online, usually you have paper and pen. I think that's what you mentioned earlier. It's normal to take paper and pen with you, right? Or would they normally give you that in the interview if it's in person?
Uh, you should bring your own.
Okay.
Yeah, you should bring your own pen. That's why I said realize like bring a portfolio, have like the notepad in
Mhm.
it, and like just any pen. Um, yeah, I would bring your own and just be prepared.
Okay. Um, okay. Um, I don't know. Yeah, I think it's good. I think I'm good. I've just been reading a lot. But I think we'll see how it goes.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, I'm excited to see how it turns out. Obviously a big week for you, but hopefully after this week you'll be done.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
I'm sure you're ready to be done. So
We'll see. It's been a while, but it's been good. Learning process.
yeah, for sure. Okay, well, keep me posted. All right.
Okay. Thank you, Sam.
Yeah, no problem. We'll talk soon. Bye. Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed the content, please subscribe to our channel or podcast so that you can get notified of all of our future episodes as well. If you'd like to apply to work with us so that we can help you in a similar way, feel free to reach out to our team at www.wallstreetmastermind.com/apply. The street is abbreviated to ST, so it's wallstmastermind.com/apply. Talk soon.